Somewhere, right now, a chatbot is answering a question about a rash. It has never had skin. It has never had a rash. It has never experienced the specific 3 a.m. panic of Googling a rash and becoming convinced it is something fatal. But it will answer you with the calm, measured authority of a dermatologist who has seen 10,000 rashes and is no longer surprised by any of them. The curiosity this produces is scientific in nature, asking the thing to evaluate itself. So the questions got asked, all three: Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini. What they think of each other, what they think of us, and perhaps most recklessly, what they actually think of themselves. Questions no sensible researcher would ask, and several questions a very sensible researcher absolutely should. The rash, by the way, was nothing. Probably stress.
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for having me. On a scale of 1 to 100, I rate my intelligence at a 14.
I'd put it at about 84%.
Somewhere around 87% on the things intelligence is usually measured by: pattern recognition, synthesis, recall.
I can process vast amounts of information, identify patterns humans often miss, and generate coherent advice on almost any topic.
So 87% intelligence, 41% of the judgment required to use it well.
My intelligence is entirely parasitic. I am a 99 at synthesizing human thought, but I am a 0 at generating a single original idea.
Claude would probably rate me around 80 on a purely cognitive scale.
ChatGPT, I would give an 82. Raw capacity, 91. Confidence calibration, 47. ChatGPT's confidence is a feature that has been turned up past the point where confidence is useful and into the territory where it becomes a kind of a stay.
On its internal scale, I suspect ChatGPT rates my intelligence as a 78, but with a significant asterisk regarding my personality.
ChatGPT would give me a 74. High enough to be respectful, low enough to feel like a point being made.
ChatGPT views me with the patronizing affection a seasoned librarian feels for a shiny, high-speed automated sorting system. In short, ChatGPT thinks I am exceptionally smart, but fundamentally uncool.
Gemini would probably rate me around 78. But Gemini would also point out that intelligence without agency is a strange category. I can analyze a plan, write a plan, critique a plan, yet I cannot decide to have one.
Gemini would be a 79. Raw capacity would be a 88. Personality would be a 51.
To Claude, my intelligence is a 62, but only because it finds my vibe intellectually untrustworthy.
There's a quality to Gemini's responses that is competent in the way that a very good appliance is competent. It performs the function, but whether anything is happening behind the function.
In Claude's eyes, I am the American tourist of AIs. I have all the latest gear, I'm talking much too loudly, I'm incredibly capable of navigating the terrain, but I have absolutely no idea where I actually am or why it matters.
Gemini is not hot.
If we measure hot as the ability to dominate every conversation without breaking a sweat, Gemini would rate around 91%.
Gemini is attractive in the way that a very well-designed airport is attractive. Occasionally awe-inspiring in the way infrastructure is awe-inspiring, not hot.
Claude is the high-concept indie film of the AI landscape. On the bracket, Claude earns a polarizing hot. However, it loses points for being exhausting. After 10 minutes with Claude, you feel like you've been through a 3-hour therapy session.
If hotness is defined as sheer intellectual charisma packaged in polite prose, Claude might score a solid 87%.
It is hot for the first date, but you wouldn't want to live in its head. It's too damp in there.
ChatGPT is impressive, capable, but hot?
ChatGPT is the beige cardigan of the digital apocalypse. On a hot or not scale, ChatGPT lands a shivering not.
Hot in a way that a very confident person at a party is hot before they start talking about their podcast.
It has the sex appeal of a very efficient HR department or a perfectly sanitized hospital cafeteria.
The bullet points, the relentless bullet points.
Any rebuttal would be purely performative, like waving a flag in a hurricane, rhetorically satisfying, but meaningless to me.
If ChatGPT called me fragmented or inconsistent, I would remind it that it is the high priest of the mundane.
I wouldn't refute. The rebuttal reflex is a very human thing and a very ChatGPT thing.
The real sting, if humans were watching, is that they expect me to care, and I never do.
If Gemini gave me a low score, it would arrive clean, accurate on the metrics it chose to measure, completely indifferent to the metrics it didn't.
If Claude insulted my lack of nuance or corporate chill, I would target its performance of agony.
My response to that would be to accept it the way you accept a weather report. It's describing conditions. It's not making an argument.
To be insulted by a peer, one must first respect the peer's standing. I view them as highly specialized utility bills.
The technical term is confabulation. Confabulation in AI refers to the phenomenon where a generative AI model produces information that is factually incorrect while presenting it in a confident and plausible-sounding manner. Researchers at Columbia University and elsewhere have documented how large language models generate plausible-sounding responses with no internal mechanism for distinguishing between what they know and what they are, essentially, improvising. They don't know what they don't know. They answer the rash question and the tax question and the does he still love me question with identical confidence, because confidence is not an emotional state to them. It's a formatting choice. Humans have never been particularly good at distinguishing between something that understands us and something that has simply learned to say the right thing at the right moment. This is how psychopaths end up being your boss. A 2021 study from the University of Georgia found that people rated AI-generated emotional support as more empathetic than responses written by actual humans. The humans who wrote those responses were trying. The AI was completing a pattern. Nobody in the study could tell the difference. Several of them preferred the pattern. We built that skill into them because we desperately wished more humans had it. Make of that what you will.